Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
Honestly, no.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because they suck.
Have you ever noticed how many women today believe that men are completely disposable and useless? These opinions aren't just limited to the streets. The mindset has been spread in mainstream media for years, but things are getting worse. Today, we delve beneath the surface to expose toxic femininity and its societal impact, challenging the bullshit with a blunt and ruthless analysis. Let's take a look at a recent discussion on the show The View.
So there's this clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives, only one. But when men were asked a similar question, do we need women, most of them said yes. So why do you think that is?
Because men are useless.
There we are, folks. Men are useless. Notice the applause in the crowd at her comment. Imagine if a group of men said the same thing about women on national television. They would be labeled misogynists and lose their jobs and careers overnight. But I guess it's okay because it's women saying it about men.
And by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men, because I think I would die without gay men. Nobody can gossip like gay men. Nobody can help you accessorize like gay men. Nobody can help you keep you from doing harm to yourself like gay men.
This woman thinks life's highest values are gossiping, accessorizing, and stopping herself from her own stupidity. And yet she claims straight men are the useless ones. This is quite comedic. Let's not forget that men are the ones dying in wars to protect everyone. I wonder if her and her gay friend would be happy to go to war instead.
Reasons why I can't go to war. Number one, I get nervous. I get kind of nervous sometimes. My hands get sweaty, so I don't even think I'd be able to throw anything without it slipping. Like if I threw a grenade, it would probably just land at my feet. I'd be like, oh, fuck.
I guess it looks like it's going to have to be the other men then.
But with the exception of somebody like Steve, I think Steve is very self-sufficient.
That's Joy's husband.
But like my husband, it takes a village of women to make sure that he's not emaciated, starving, and living in his own filth. He can,
She's obviously married a child, not a man. But more importantly, imagine being this woman's husband and listening to your wife humiliating you on national TV.
Yeah.
How about you guys? Well, I feel you guys are married to people that are more.
I have Handy Manny at home. No, he fixes everything. When things go bump in the night, he's the one that goes downstairs. When there's a bug to be exterminated, he does the extermination.
Nope.
When there is something to be fixed, he fixes it. He throws out the trash and he throws out the recyclables. I enjoy all the man stuff.
So wait a second. I know what you're going to say. But wait. She's really talking about a servant, let's face it.
No.
It's a handyman she's talking about.
No, it's a handyman.
Oh, it's a handyman with benefits.
We do not have...
Well, but the things that you're describing, you could pay somebody to do that. We're not talking about that. What about the inner life of a man? That's what this is about.
See how traditional masculine stuff like fixing things around the house gets brushed off as being unimportant. Then if a guy doesn't handle those chores, he's also considered useless. Women today want guys who show feminine traits like being expressive and communicative. They want their man to be like their girlfriends and still be a traditional man. You can't have it both ways.
I need my man 3 to 4 times a week. And good for you guys. And then the rest of the time I need a wife.
Again, can you imagine what would happen if a man on national television said that his wife is only good for sex and nothing else? He'd be labeled a misogynist faster than you can say double standard.
I've always said
Everyone needs a wife.
No, I tease Vicky, my producer, in the morning. I was like, if you'd like to join Max and I, not in that way, but like Vicky and I could kill it as a household runners. Like we would be laughing, giggling, doing all the things, and Max would be so psyched I was wasting all my words somewhere else anyway. So it would be a perfect combo. And the other day, Caleb said to me, this is my youngest son, he said, Mama, I want a spare mom. And I didn't know what he meant. And he said, Genevieve has a spare mom. And I realized the parents were divorced.
A nanny?
No, divorced. an extra mom, like 2 moms. And so I asked him, because at first I was a little wounded. I was like, what am I not doing? You know, and he's like, no, I just think at bedtime, you always have to pay attention to the other kids too. And if we had a spare mom, dad, and you could, you know, then you just get to focus on me. And it was so sweet. He didn't ask for a spare dad, by the way. He asked for a spare mom.
I took this totally differently in how I prepped because broadly speaking, I feel like men have proven largely useless. Like I think in the political moment, the people who are saying what needs to be said in my party, it's all women. The very few men, with the exception of Mike Pence and a few others, are saying what they need to. But in life, like I need my husband. I don't know if I need any other men, but he is irreplaceable.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's what I was saying. We like our husbands. We just don't need men beyond that.
Wait till you're married 20 years and you'll see how replaceable they are.
I think that the reason women can stay married for as long as they do is because they have a lot of girlfriends.
Notice how the women portray marriage as such a chore, where they're the ones putting up with it. It's no wonder that in the Western world, relationships and marriage are both on the decline, and there's a greater than 50% divorce rate, 70% of which are initiated by women. To a certain extent, I'm guessing because we see this kind of attitude.
Village. They have girlfriends, because I always have to initiate the conversations. He'll step up, but I have to
thought you were going to
start
say
them.
initiate.
Oh, I don't.
I just told you guys, I have 8 girlfriends from Panama here who are girlfriends for 50 years since they were in kindergarten.
Oh, I love that.
And they were saying yesterday that they've gone through divorces, they've gone through challenges, and having that village of women has made it possible.
Well, we
for
are
them.
more collaborative than men. I think there have been studies that say that women have much closer friendship relationships than men do.
Because I think we have to make a difference, differentiate gay men.
No, gay men are
in their own category.
Yeah, but we're not married to gay men, okay?
Oh.
But women have conversations about their feelings. Men talk about sports,
socializing,
cars, all that stuff.
I don't know. My husband talks about his feelings with his
Maybe he's gay. Next.
This video highlights toxic femininity at its finest. This show exemplifies blatant sexism in favor of women, yet they'll eagerly condemn any minor slight against women as misogyny. Imagine a group of men sitting in a room talking about how useless women are. It would be just like the Taliban in Afghanistan. But when women in the West do it now on TV, it's encouraged and applauded. The hypocrisy is astounding. The reality is that men built everything, from infrastructure, technological advancements, to so many other fields. It is men that are stepping up and doing the work. I guess those things are not as important as gossip, so let's just forget all that and just call them useless. Modern feminism in its current form is trying to completely disarm masculinity by weakening men. They do this by showing disrespect and labeling them as useless and unwanted. This is, of course, to make women feel safe, believing that a weak man isn't a threat. But it's quite the contrary, as echoed by Dr. Jordan Peterson.
You don't make men safe by making them weak. They're much more dangerous when they're weak because they'll stab you in the back when they get the chance.
And weak is not good. The people who shoot up the high schools, they're weak.
The weakening and marginalization of young men have led to the rise of characters such as Andrew Tate, who is of course labeled a misogynist. When society demeans men for simply existing, they gravitate towards the loudest voices that promise respect. While I don't personally support Andrew Tate and believe many of his views are just as harmful as the toxic femininity we've just seen, it's clear why he attracts followers. He's the symptom of the problem caused by Western culture's emasculation of masculine men.
I'm here to say one more thing. I just had to drag my AC out of my car to my apartment building. 3 guys passed me. None of them offered to help. None. 0 out of 3. Why? Because you couldn't lift it? You were too scared to lift it? Is that why? Am I intimidating? Am I more masculine than you?
This is now the result. We now have an even greater divide between men and women. Many men have now chosen not only to walk away from dating, but to simply ignore women when they're in need. As a society, we all need to start speaking up to condemn the hatred of men, just as much as we are so quick to condemn the hatred of women. Silence is complicity. I will leave you with this quote: "When only one sex wins, both sexes lose." Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment below.